Welcome back to the Priestess Path. Today we're speaking about the full moon in Sagittarius, the second full moon of May, and this one feels very different to the Scorpio full moon that opened the month. That Scorpio moon pulled us downward into emotional depth, into the underworld of the self, into the unconscious patterns, inherited fears and hidden attachments living beneath identity. But Sagittarius now turns its gaze towards the horizon. After descent comes perspective. After emotional excavation comes meaning. And this full moon feels like an invitation to step back far enough to finally see the larger story shaping your life. Sagittarius is the seeker, the philosopher, the truth teller, the part of us that searches for meaning, wisdom, expansion, and understanding. But under this moon, truth is not abstract. It becomes deeply personal because opposite this moon, the sun sits in Gemini, and this axis matters. Gemini gathers information. Sagittarius seeks meaning. Gemini notices the details. Sagittarius searches for the bigger picture. Gemini asks questions. Sagittarius tries to understand what those questions ultimately mean. And together, they ask something incredibly important. What do you believe? And why? Because not every truth, not every belief is truth. Some beliefs were inherited before they were consciously chosen. Some were formed inside moments of fear, rejection, emotional survival, or self-protection. And some became part of identity simply because they were repeated often enough. And many of us are living inside stories that we never consciously agreed to carry. Stories about our worth, stories about visibility, stories about love, success, belonging, safety, femininity, power, aging, purpose. Stories that quietly shape the emotional architecture of our lives. And this full moon illuminates the hidden relationship between belief and identity. It reveals where survival became identity. And I think that's why the energy of the seer feels so important with this moon, because becoming the seer in your own life means learning to observe the story without immediately becoming consumed by it. It means recognizing unconscious patterns as patterns. It means noticing inherited emotional narratives without automatically treating them as truth. And it means stepping outside survival identity long enough to ask, is this actually true? Or is this simply familiar? That's a very Sagittarius question. And this moon may widen the lens enough for you to finally see what has been shaping you from beneath the surface all along. Sometimes truth arrives gently, and sometimes it changes everything the moment you allow yourself to see clearly. This full moon carries the energy of sacred remembrance, not reinvention. Reinvention belongs to personality. Remembrance belongs to the soul. And I think that distinction matters deeply right now, because many people are trying to become someone new while still carrying unconscious identities formed around fear, protection, performance, or belonging. But remembrance asks something different of us. It asks, who were you before survival taught you to fragment yourself in order to fit? Who are you beneath the conditioning, beneath the performance, beneath the inherited expectations and unconscious loyalties? This is why I speak so often about symbolic systems as mirrors. Astrology, human design, tarot. Not as identities to hide inside, but as languages of self-understanding. The three mirrors of remembrance. The body reflects. The sky remembers. The soul reveals. The body carries the imprint. The sky mirrors the timing. And the soul recognizes truth when it arrives. This Sagittarius full moon feels like an energetic initiation into seeing more clearly, seeing yourself more clearly, seeing your life more clearly, seeing the hidden narratives shaping your choices, reactions, fears and desires. And from that awareness, something becomes possible. Liberation. Not because your past disappears, not because the story never existed, not because unconscious stories lose power once they're fully seen. Under this moon, truth expands to free you, because remembrance begins the moment illusion loses its power. And the return begins the moment you stop negotiating with what your soul already knows.